What's up, Blue Crew? It's your boy, Blue Diddy, back with another Donkey Kong deep dive. Today's theory has nothing to do with Bonanza, Kremlings, or the Banana Horde. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest mysteries in Donkey Kong history, a question that has puzzled players ever since the SNES era. Who is Donkey Kong Jr.? Nintendo's own manuals are crystal clear that Cranky is the original Donkey Kong, the same big ape who hurled barrels at Mario back in the 80s. And modern Donkey Kong? Cranky's grandson. So where does that leave Jr.? Is he gone? Forgotten? Retconned out of existence? No. I'm here to tell you he never disappeared. He simply grew up. And Nintendo quietly left clues showing us exactly who he became. So buckle up, because I'm about to prove to you that Donkey Kong Jr. has been right here all along. Let's break it down. Let's set the stage, Blue Crew. It's 1982. Arcades are packed with kids pumping quarters into Nintendo cabinets. Donkey Kong Jr. arrives on the scene as a direct sequel to Donkey Kong. And this wasn't some side project. This was Shigeru Miyamoto himself, one of Nintendo's most important early successes. Official arcade flyers and the game's attract mode didn't mince words. It literally says, "Save your papa, Donkey Kong." The cabinet art shows Jr. in his little white bib with the big J on the front. The NES box art and Famicom manual also depict him climbing vines with a determined look on his face, clearly a child version of Donkey Kong. So let's be 100% clear. Donkey Kong is the ape in the cage, the father. Donkey Kong Jr., the son, the playable hero of the sequel. This wasn't just a background detail, it was the entire premise of the game, and Nintendo kept him around for a while. He starred in Donkey Kong Jr. Math, 1983, an educational NES title. He was included in early NES promotional materials as one of Nintendo's main characters. He appeared in early merchandise, stickers, and even on cereal boxes. At this point, Jr. was cemented into Nintendo canon. But when the SNES era rolled around, things got a lot more complicated. Fast forward to 1994, Donkey Kong Country hits the Super Nintendo. This was the game that relaunched the franchise, and Rare made big decisions about the lore. In the SNES instruction manual, Rare spells it out in plain English. Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong who kidnapped Mario's girlfriend all those years ago. Boom! Confirmed that Cranky is the arcade Donkey Kong. Then they say Donkey Kong is Cranky's grandson. And that right there is the key detail. If modern DK is Cranky's grandson, that means there has to be a generation in between. This is where most fans get tripped up, because Rare never showed you Donkey Kong Jr. as an adult. They never said he died, they never said he left, they never said he was retconned out. They just left him unmentioned. But that missing generation is right there, unmissable, in the manuals and dialogue. Cranky constantly refers to your generation and the younger apes. He mocks DK as being softer than his own son's era. Rare deliberately wrote the family tree with a blank space for Jr. to exist, an unplayable unseen figure who passed the torch. It's not just a theory, it's in the text of the manuals themselves. And that's exactly where Uncle Kong comes in. This is where things get really interesting. Most Western fans never saw this, but in Japan, Nintendo licensed a special strategy guide called Super Donkey Kong 2 Dixie and Diddy Koryaku Guidebook Kanzenhan, which translates to Strategy, Complete Version. This was not a fan book or magazine, it was an officially sanctioned product sold right next to the cartridges. In it, there's an extended character profile section, and there he is, Uncle Kong. They included an illustration of him. He's clearly older than modern Donkey Kong. He has distinct facial hair, obviously showing he's a bit older. His expression is calmer and wiser, not goofy or youthful. He wears an outfit with coloring that evokes the Donkey Kong Jr. palette, subdued pinks and browns. They didn't just call him Random Kong, They labeled him Uncle Kong, a precise familial title that implies he's the generation between Cranky and DK. Remember, Nintendo doesn't throw around family titles loosely. Funky Kong is a cousin, Wrinkly Kong is a grandmother, Tiny Kong, Kitty Kong, etc. all have clear relations, but Uncle Kong, that's exactly what Junior would be if he grew up. Cranky's son, modern DK's father. This isn't a fan guess, this is a licensed, Nintendo-approved guide. And the evidence doesn't stop there. Let's talk about design. Back in 1983, Nintendo released a Donkey Kong Jr. Math, a game that let you play as Donkey Kong Jr. 2 in multiplayer. He was essentially a palette swap. Pinkish red fur instead of brown, slightly different shading. Now, fast forward to Uncle Kong's illustration in the strategy guide. The coloring, almost the same deep pinks. The posture, upright, proud, adult. The expression, more serious-like, a grown-up version of Junior. Nintendo had already shown us that Kongs could look older, like with Cranky Kong and Tiny Kong, etc. It's like they laid out a blueprint of how Junior would age over time, and then use that exact visual language for Uncle Kong. And that makes perfect sense, because if Cranky Kong aged up from the arcade DK sprite, then Junior aging up into Uncle Kong is the natural next step. Here's what makes this theory even more airtight. Nintendo never officially erased Donkey Kong Jr. In fact, they quietly preserved him as a historical figure. In Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, Jr. appears as a classic cameo character, still a child. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, his trophy calls him Donkey Kong's son, plain as day. In re-releases of the arcade games, the storyline has never been rewritten. And meanwhile, the Donkey Kong Country manual never changes. Donkey Kong is Cranky's grandson. That means that middle generation must exist. They just stopped putting him front and center because in Japan, they already quietly slotted him in as Uncle Kong. They didn't make a big announcement, they didn't retcon it in a press release, they just slipped him into an official book and left it for the most dedicated fans to discover. So Blue Crew, here's the truth. Donkey Kong Jr. never vanished. He didn't disappear into the void, he didn't get wiped from the timeline. He simply grew up, aged into maturity, and became the generation that Rare hinted at but never showed in-game. He became Uncle Kong, the quiet, older, forgotten figure that bridges Cranky and modern DK. He's Cranky's son, modern Donkey Kong's father, the missing link that makes the entire Kong family tree make sense. So if you ask me, Uncle Kong is Donkey Kong Jr. Period. If you enjoyed this theory, hit that like button and subscribe for more Donkey Kong lore, deep dives, and hidden details. And tell me in the comments, do you believe Uncle Kong is Donkey Kong Jr.? Stay curious, stay critical, and as always, keep on swinging. Blue Diddy, out!